Hello, am I audible?
Yan mode.
Yeah, so okay, we can start now. So, welcome everybody. I welcome you all to your very own podcast, The Orion Show. Myself, Anmol Gandhi, a business developer at Space Station Automation Private Limited. Welcome to The Orion Show. Speaking on behalf of the firm, I welcome all the chief guests and participants and also thank them for taking out time from their busy schedules to be present here. The chief guests are Dr. Deepak Gola, Mr. Ankit Gupta, Mrs. Debeshwita Bali. We are gathered here for this webinar to discuss about how automation supports food and pharmaceutical industries. Furthermore, we'll also discuss how automation can help your business grow. Without further delay, let's talk about the code of conduct. To maintain decorum, we have muted everyone. But if you have any doubts or queries, please drop your message in the comment section and we will answer them on your behalf. We'll ask them on your behalf. Please be patient. Also, once the speakers are done, everyone here will have an opportunity to speak and express their thoughts. Once the session is concluded, the video recording of this session will be uploaded to social media to watch again. Also, the audio podcast will be available on major streaming platforms. Without any further delay, I would like to call Mr. Ankit Gupta, BTech in Computer Science from IP University in India and MSc in Autonomous Vehicles from Cranfield University in the United Kingdom, currently holding the position of Assistant Professor at IIM University and also the founder of Space Station Automation Private Limited. Sir, please enlighten us with your thoughts and take the session forward by describing the automation industry. Sir, I think you're not audible.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. So thank you, Anmol, for inviting me today, and thank you all of you for joining us. Today we are going to have a main topic around the food and pharmaceutical industry and how we can add the automation in the same. So let's, without further delay, move forward to the session. So our main question will be like how automation is useful in food and pharmaceutical industry. Before proceeding further, we are going to discuss about a few agendas regarding the automation. So we are going to talk about automation, IoT industry 4.0, target industry, target increase in sales, our team, Space Orion, and why Gen Orion and our products. So it is very important to understand like how the automation works, like what is the real requirement of the automation. So with the 2022 started, we had seen that there are most of the industries which had came to work online to understand like how things can be automated on their own. Even the how will I say the workforce are working from home. There are manufacturing industries which cannot obviously do that. Like how they are going to work around with these kind of manufacturing that. So basically what we do, we try to reduce the human involvement more and we try to depend more on the machines, but what is the real requirement based on the thing? The most important requirement is to increase the manufacturing at the end point, and as well as the quality and the quantity of the same can be increased for sure. Here in the GIF, we can see few machines are working. They are working based on the control which are going to be provided by the human being with the help of this interface, which is he or she is controlling on this. There are wireless connectivities these days which can actually allow these kind of communication to be taken care of, and these communication is so fast that there is no lag that is going to be reached. So if we talk more about the automation, so we are looking forward to have the automation to reduce the human involvement and increase the more working or dependency on the machine, so that it can automatically take the decisions, can work around with the tasks, it can automatically take decisions, the software and the hardware can work in the coordination. So what is the real requirement of having all these things? So we need this machine to be smart enough to take decisions on behalf of the humans. Just so like we need to train a specific person for taking specific decisions for years, and then that person becomes very specific about the quality of the system, about the working of the environment. But if we are going to have the machines, we can directly have multiple inputs and outputs based on the same decision. If we talk about the third point, we are talking about the IoT and the dashboards. These are two new technologies which are disrupting the entire technological world, where we can see the things can be controlled wirelessly from anywhere. That is how IoT works, the Internet of Things. So we are talking about things that multiple machines that can be controlled with the internet from anywhere. On the other hand, we are talking about a dashboard, like when these machines are going to be controlled, you can see actually like what these machines are doing, how they are doing, what is the output of the same. Just for an example, if there are 1,000 users of XYZ machine, so we can actually see from a remote area like what the guys are doing, like how these machines are helpful for them, and so on and so forth. In the last, we can see connecting IoT with the automation provides virtual control. So we are controlling something virtually from anywhere. As I said, like if 1,000 users are controlling a machine, you can see and visualize the entire working conditions, maybe the outputs, maybe the use of that specific machine in different circumstances or different places. And if you want to increase or support or provide some upgrades over the internet, that can be taken care of as well. So when we talk about the IoT, it's just a network of devices which are going to be controlled from a centralized or decentralized system. So when we talk about centralized and decentralized, we are talking about centralized where there is just one person who is going to control all the devices. Decentralized system in which multiple people are going to be controlling the same system for remote places. What are the different uses of the thing? So we can have the access to low cost, low power sensor technology. That means, just for an example, these days we have the wristbands. They have number of sensors inside it, and they're very cheap at the same time. We can have higher connectivity. Again, we are going to take the same example. They are enabled with the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi as well. Cloud computing. These days, IoT is becoming much more machine friendly. The reason being, the difficult computing is not required to be taken care of on the end machine or the edge computing. It can be taken care of with the help of the cloud computing. What really that is required is you have to send the data on the internet, and then the processed data will be coming back to the machine. On the same behalf, when we want these machines to be smart enough so that based on individual requirements and based on individual use, we can actually train these machines in such a way that these machines will become friendly according to the use of that person. Just for an example, you are using a mobile phone regularly early morning and then during the night, but during your working hours, you do not use your phone much. During that time, what machine can do, it actually can save all the background tasks so that it will save the battery and increase the number of hours for your backup, so that when you will be reaching back home, your device will have more amount of battery. Similarly, we can have more data analytics. We can see how well you are performing, not just you. It can be a number of people who are connected with that. Just let's take an example. We have Dr. Shalini here. And if she is going to have a number of patients with her, definitely she wants to know like if her questions are doing well or not. So in that case, what she can do, she can actually see the data on her dashboard, like what exactly the individual patient is doing and how they are doing it, and what are the benefits they are receiving from the same. Maybe they are following some kind of diet, maybe are they following some kind of exercise, if they are having the positive response of that, if they are having the negative response of that. Then we have the task scheduling. We can schedule a number of tasks on these machines virtually from anywhere. We can optimize how these machines are working just by understanding like these are the weak points and these are the best points and these are the fruitful points. On the other hand, we can have the remote sensing and control. We can control the devices from anywhere around the world. We can sense the system, like how it is working, the conditions are good enough or not. Just one example, we are looking forward to have a plant which we are trying to grow in the conditions of the Ladakh. So Ladakh is a place which is definitely not very friendly towards growing these crops. So what kind of crops which can be grown over there? So we can actually keep track of these kind of data that is going to be coming from these remote places. So we have discussed about a number of different, let's say, use cases of the same technologies. And we have discussed, like here on this slide, we have discussed about what are the specific industries which can get the profit out of the same. So the first industry is auto industry, second is restaurant and cafe, telecom, manufacturing, warehouse and logistics, hospitality, automobile, tour and tourism, real estate, IT and electronics, education, home and office, security, and fintech. These are just the names of the few industries which we have included on the screen. Definitely, we have a number of other industries where we can take care of the IoT and automation. So here we are going to talk about the sustainable automation, like how we can do that. In the last session, we have discussed about the same in very detail. We had Dr. Fatima with us. So today today I'm just going to take you through this slide very fastly. So we can actually test the water, the cleanness of the system. Just for an example, you can have the RO at home. Let's consider if we are going to add some kind of automation in the RO, that if the water is very salty, if the water is not good or fit for health, it can raise the problems. It can let you know on the mobile phone, or it can actually give you the suggestions what best things can be done when the candle is not in good condition. Sedimentation can be added on the top of it. Like depends like what kind of processes you require, that can be taken care of automatically in the same machine. We can have the controlled water management system for the sustainable use. We had seen in a number of places the water is flowing continuously and we have no idea like how to stop it. Let's consider that we can have the automated system which is going to allow the limited amount of water for the same place. Let me give an example. Every day we used to wash our hands. We used to have the early morning things, just like the brushing up and so on and so forth. But we do not consider like the same water can be used for the flush. So definitely this is the kind of automation which we can surely add at that place where the water which we have just used can be used for the flushing. We can actually sense the pH, TDS and other hardness of the water with the help of the automated system again, and definitely this can be in loop for the plants or for the human purpose, for the drinking and so on and so forth. The automated reuse of water in smart toilets is just what I have just discussed. Smart supporting biodiversity and the weather conditions with increasing groundwater level with smart reservoirs. So what we can have, like we had seen, there are like a number of places where the water used to like accumulate. But since these places are made up of like the hard bed or maybe the how let's say these main roads or maybe the cemented roads, what can be done in these cases? So definitely we are going to have these smart automated systems which can track this amount of water which is already how let's say accumulated at some point at some place, that like how we can actually provide this water to the ground so that groundwater can be recovered. So all these things are the part of the sustainable automation, and we can have a number of number of examples for the same, like how we can work on the same. Hospitality automation. This is the part where we can actually work around with the data analytics, where we can actually work around with the IoT, where we can actually work around with the how will I say the AI in which the system can actually track what a patient is doing, if he is healthy or not, and how the best possible scenarios can be made available for them. There is a placebo effect where we try to make the patients to let them know that they are being treated by the doctor in some specific manner, but definitely it's not. It's just their entire will and the support from the doctors which make them recover faster. So all these things can be automated easily, where these health tracking system or health alarming system can be deployed. So today's topic is going to be related to the food automation and the pharmaceuticals. I'm just going to include very few points here. The reason being we have our Dr. let's say, the Dr. Devishmita here, who is going to, we have Dr. Deepak Kola here, who is going to also talk about the same. So I will not take a long amount of time for the same. So we can actually like increase the quantity of the food development. So definitely here we can see a robot who is actually designing the plate for the final serving. Definitely these things can be taken care of with the help of more advanced machines. We can actually see in Italy there is a machine on the, just like the ATM machine. You can add the a euro coin, and you can select what kind of pizza you want, and that will be delivered to you just by just very moment created by the, or maybe developed by the robot system. We can actually decrease the food processing time. Just for example, a human requires to take care of like just few number of how, let's say, the food which he or she can develop, but on the other hand, a machine can definitely do that thing in a very short amount of time. We can actually maintain the hygiene for sure. That is another health-based automated food option that can be taken care of. Just for an example, you are going to McDonald's, and definitely you are going to eat anything they are going to provide, right? You just need the taste. You are having the money in your hands, and you're just going to be like, we have a number of options, and I can just buy these and that. You're not going to take care, like actually these things can be how, let's say, you can let the McDonald guy know that these are the things with which you are not very friendly, or how, let's say, your health conditions does not allow you to have these things, or maybe there is some better option or not. Well, if we are going to automate these things, if we are going to add some kind of AI on top of that, definitely you can actually add these kind of problems which you are facing, and the same McDonald's burger will become more and more healthier for you, just because of reducing or adding some kind of ingredient based on your health requirements. So we had seen we had seen the use of IoT and automation a lot, right? And with this graph, actually, you can see that it is steeping towards a very high valuation in the coming years. So we can see the expected growth by 2030. It's like 20 billion devices will be connected by IoT, and the global market is reached already by $53.45 billion. This market was only $45.8 million in 2017, but we can see that this is increasing at a very high rate with a CAC rate of 12.1 and can reach up to $114 billion. There are a number of wireless systems on which the AI and automation can work, which include IoT, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, infrared, LTE, and Zigbee, and so on and so forth. There is also a very important point, like these technologies are being mostly developed by the Western world, and as an Asian, we do not like to depend on these Western products. The reason being there is most of the time monopoly which is provided, or which is not allowing the Asian countries to take it forward in their own requirements. So young generation is going more towards the IoT and then the automation. The reason being they feel it like luxury, and there are nearly 600 million people which are definitely getting attracted towards the automation. So if we talk about our team, so we are a team of 4 founders. Me, myself on the top left, Ankit Gupta, and on the top right, we have Ankush Kohli, co-founder. He is a software and content management head. On the bottom left, we have Prithvi Gupta, co-founder and marketing head here. On the bottom right, we have Prashant Gautam. He is the co-founder and a certified BR from Ivy University. So I just want to let you know again, from in the last session we have discussed about it, that we have registered our new venture, that is the Space Orion, which is specifically going to deal in the space domain. So here is a logo which we have, and we have the tagline, "They paving the way towards this space." We have our vision and values, which we are going to follow in our long run. So mission is going to be providing automated support to the space domain for an autonomous space journey. We are looking forward to make the space journey as feasible, as easy, and as supportable as possible with the help of the automation. We are having a mission of supporting the dreams of becoming the private company to become leaders in the space travel. The reason being here, we can see like by 1960s, we had the first flight towards the moon, where we have landed over there, but there onwards, the private and the government sectors are not able to reach the same mark which we had achieved during the 1960s. So definitely it's a big industry where we are looking forward, and goals are definitely very clear. On the values, we are looking forward to use all our resources in the best sustainable development and best sustainable possibility that is going to support us in developing all these technologies. We want to add the automation existing systems as well, so that there will be better decision taking. So what makes us unique? Basically, we are specializing in three specific domains. First, that is the automation, where we're trying to add the automation in as many how will I say, industries as possible. Secondly, we are looking forward to support the prosthetics industry. The same automation based on the brain wave sensing. Definitely in the next session, in the coming sessions, we are going to have Dr. Rizwan here, who is going to talk about the brain wave control automation for the prosthetics. So wait for that session. That is definitely going to be very amazing as well. And on the third, we have the space and earth, where we are working on the convertible systems so that we can have the air mobility as well as the land mobility. So here are just a few glimpses of what we are doing. So we are working on the automation and the human-computer interaction, where we are trying to make a kind of a system where the computers can communicate with the humans in such a way that they are becoming the part of the human life cycle. On the other hand, we are working on the future transportation system as well, and our main aim is to develop the system which is going to be convertible, which is going to be hybrid, which is going to be autonomous, and at the same time, it's going to be sustainable for sure. So now I'm going to talk about the products of the company. From the Orion, we do not have Prashant Bhattan today. He is busy with some specific tasks and at the meeting. So definitely I'm going to take it forward. So Orion is a company which is specializing in the automation, but what are the different specializations and in the industries which we are targeting? So we are targeting about the agriculture, farming, livestock, home, offices, automobiles, just to make them as affordable as possible, just to allow the online automatic updates, just to make it feasible in the Indian market and the nearby countries for sure, and specifically for the developing countries. We know that the currently available technology is very, very expensive. It's not widely available. The customization is very difficult because of the Western world that dominates everything. On the other hand, we had seen like in India, we have so many people who are not able to speak English properly. Definitely in the Asian countries, this is a very important problem. Not even just in Asian countries, the Russian and the European countries as well. The same phenomena which I had seen is like the English voiceover is available for most of the Western world technology, but people are not able to accept or use it at the same customization or maybe the same support that is required. We are working on the same. We are trying to make this technology as feasible as possible, as affordable as possible, and as integrable as possible with the other technology. And most importantly, the Orion is following the Make in India initiative. That means we are trying to develop, or we are already developing most of the technologies in-house. We are not right now developing our processors in India. Definitely Indian government is looking forward to support that same. We have worked on the Shakti processor, but that is not viable for sure. But yes, we are looking forward to have the coming India or the developing India towards like where we can have our own microchips for sure. The entire automation system, the control system which we have developed is patented, which is a prodigious hardware circuit designs alongside exquisite plug-and-play features that is secured with multi-level testing. So these are just the glimpse of our products, where we can see these systems are generally the switching and control systems, but they are not restricted to just switching and control. They can actually sense the entire environment. They can actually control your entire space. They can actually tell you about the statistics of that place. So we can actually, in simple words, we can say switching and control, but since they are working in a different manner, definitely we are going to come to discuss more in detail in the coming slides. So where we are going to install them at the very start is it is going to be inside. It is going to be for the residential and the commercial space, and thereafter soon we will be getting into the automobile sector. The system can be controlled via Orion's application and website only. That means your system is going to be highly secure. We are not going to be allowing any third party system which is going to be interacting with the Gen Orion so that we will have any kind of issues with the security. We are going to support the continuous notifications in whichever way possible so that we can stay connected with the customers or the users or to the security that is very much required. So we have a sensor module which can be connected with the other module for sure, or it can work standalone as well. What it includes the number of sensors, which may can include smoke sensor, gas sensor, humidity, buzzer, fire, temperature, light sensor, two-way calling, and as well as like you can add other sensors on top of it, which may can include heartbeat sensing, pulse rate monitoring, oximeter, two-way calling, and so many others. For sure, it is also customizable based on the like individual requirement. We have Gen Orion's mobile and web app, which is going to be very supportive and very how will I say very user friendly. You can see the UI of the app is very simple and sleek, which is available for all the different devices. It can be laptop, tablet, or mobile phone. We have a number of features here where we can see device scheduling is something which is very unique. Secondly, we have bill prediction. You can actually predict the entire bill of the entire place. It can actually give you the data analytics for the same, like what was the amount of use you had in previous days, months, even the last 10 minutes as well. We have the number of support for the sub-user and the dense user. That means you can have sub-users inside you, which can actually control just like